Joining us now is Mrs. Ozofu Ogiemudia. She is the partner Udo Udoma and Belo-Osagie. It's great to have you here.
Thank you. Thank
Right.
you for having me.
And we know the focus, of course, has been adapting to change. And when things are changing rapidly, it's hard to plan long term. So how would you say that companies can adopt foresight into their planning long term and foresee some of these changes that are happening? What strategies should they adopt?
Okay, thanks for the question. I think I would have been happy if you asked me later in the day, because that is the focus of the second session, which I'll be moderating today. But I think just based on my experience and what the research I've done, I think what's important is that companies have to learn to be to think long term. Nobody has a crystal ball, but there are ways you can try and anticipate. You can study trends and see what's coming. So, for instance, if you think of COVID, before COVID, some companies had already begun maybe storing data in the cloud, testing remote working. I know that was something we were talking about in my organization. And then COVID came out of nowhere. And I think the difference between those that were able to continue working seamlessly and those for whom COVID either ended their business or created a real gap before they could recover are those that had begun to leverage on, like cloud-based technology. I think a big part of being future ready is how we leverage AI and technology right now. Even if it seems like it's a lot to take on, because it's very different from the past. But I think every organization has to continually assess how best to leverage technology. I think also how best to leverage the younger population. Part of what has been said this morning is a reminder about Nigeria's youthful population. It's more than 60% under the age of 35. So I think that one important thing that the CIoD should champion and that organizations should do is how to harness what the younger population have to offer and how to train them from now for leadership, because that's where the future is heading.
Yeah, very future forward. And while these conversations are being had, foresight and all of that, it's a lot of talk. How can we translate that to action, implementation? What actionable strategies should be adopted? So it goes beyond the scenario planning and all the talk, but
Yes.
actual actions to prepare for the future.
I think investing in technology and integrating it into every part of what you do. So if I just speak I'm a lawyer, and so I work in the legal sector. Maybe being from a traditional sector, it's the sort of business that we would naturally be maybe one of the latecomers to technology, but there is technology that we're already working with so digitizing our back office process, everything from applying for leave or applying for fees to carry out tasks for clients, to how we invoice, track our time, bill clients, check whether we're being profitable, the science behind how we price our services, all that is now automated. Also, automating how we deliver service. So are we going to still spend 100 hours reviewing vast amounts of documents for clients, or are we going to automate that where technology can give you a review of those documents that would have taken you days to review within 30 minutes? So I think part of the hesitation I've seen is the initial investment in technology can be a bit off-putting because it is expensive. But we also have in Nigeria companies that have begun developing software for different businesses, and I think that encouraging those sorts of startups, investing in them, and creating the right policy to encourage investment in those sorts of businesses will help Nigeria also be able to play its own role and be able to be, future ready.
Yeah.
So we're not relying on foreign technology for everything.
Right. That's an important point. Finally, while we want to be ahead of the times and the foresight that we're talking about, is there a balance to be struck here? You said we're to invest in the future in AI and digital. Is there a balance so that we don't get ahead of ourselves and invest in perhaps bubbles that may burst?
Yes.
You know? Is there some sort of balance that needs to be struck with it? Or there's no harm in just investing in what you believe could be the future?
No, I mean, when you talk of investment, you're talking of people's money, right? So you don't want to put it... but I think there's enough tried and tested technology to start with. I think both internationally. So for instance, for the people that use Microsoft, you probably can try Copilot. For people that want to try a premium ChatGPT, there are things that already people have used and they know that there's substance to it. Like I said, there is also technology that's developed locally. I can think of a few that we use. I use both professionally and personally. And so those are more affordable. So I would say that that's certainly a place to start because it's a lower level of investment there. I think also partnerships and collaborations. So for instance, I am currently the chairperson of the Nigerian Bar Association section on business law. And some of the things we've done in the past, for instance, are to leverage the volume of our membership to negotiate for access to online training platforms. That would have been maybe more expensive if it was just one lawyer going, but as a body, we can negotiate for it to be affordable, and that would encourage smaller businesses that need that access to such training. So it saves you the cost of traveling abroad, it saves you the cost of paying even to come maybe to Abuja or go to Lagos. You can do it online. So I think those are ways in which we can...
There's always a starting point.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your time, Mrs. Ozofu Ogiemudia, partner at Udo Udoma Belo-Osagie.